Did you know that 86% of moms report struggling with body weight after pregnancy? As you see, it's not only you. And in this episode, we're going to talk about real solution, not just another bounce back story. I'm your host, Sandro, and this is a 20-minute Fit Mom where we talk about high-intensity training, flexible diet, and the most time-efficient approach for moms to get in shape. And I could call this a pre-success story. Success story is because Nanda lost 84 pounds, tone up with 20-minute workouts once or twice a week in a flexible diet. But before that, that was a tough time. And let's talk about that.
So here's the thing. I know that you must be thinking, wow, how did you gain that much of weight living with a dietitian, a fitness trainer, someone who had almost 10 years in knowledge of this area? We are together for 13 years. And since we met, I met him in college. He was about to become a dietitian. I was about to become a pharmacist. We were in the health section, right? We know about all of this. So I've been experienced his life as a healthy advisor.
This is a common question.
Yes.
It must be great. Now, how is it to live with a dietitian?
Yeah. So, wow, how could you gain that much of weight having all this information, right, close to you? And I think what happened was he just looked at me and say, I want you to enjoy your pregnancy. Okay, it's going to be the first time. You can do whatever you think you are able to do it. Just be aware of some little things, right?
Yeah, basically, I made a meal plan for her, aiming to keep the weight for the first semester and to gain in a controlled manner after the first semester until the end of the pregnancy. So you don't want to restrict calories. Even if you are overweight, you don't want to do that during pregnancy. That's not healthy. That's not recommended. And what I did was a healthy eating plan. Even though she had a few pounds to lose before pregnancy that she wanted, but I said, no, this is not the time. Now you have to focus on a healthy pregnancy and not gain excessive weight. We're gonna sell that. Whatever you want to lose, we're going to do that after pregnancy. So the eating plan was supposed to keep you gaining within the healthy average of weight.
Yes, and I think the excess of confidence or in the matter, okay, I have Sandro. He's going to help me. Doesn't matter what's going to happen. Doesn't matter how big I'm going to become. And he will help me as he did many times before, right?
Where is that confidence coming from? Tell them about a little bit about your background with exercise, diet, and everything.
So before we met, I wasn't a gym rat, but I like to go to the gym. So I knew that I had to exercise. I knew that I need to eat, to eat better. And I had the problem with, like I said in past episode, this kind of thing of not eating well, being always overweight, this since when I was little. So after I became a teenager, I started to look out myself a little bit.
And going to the gym.
Going to the gym. After we met, I started following him in his bodybuilding competitions, preparing his food, helping him with the tan.
Working out together.
It was such a very nice time. And I started to enjoy this. So after he helped me with my powerlift competitions, so we had a very nice dynamic in this area.
So you had a pretty good fitness background.
I did.
Right. Even though you've been always struggling with the weight back and forth, but you had a pretty good background in exercise, workout, diet, and everything. So I guess you thought, I know what I have to do after pregnancy to lose the weight. Also, Sandro has the knowledge. He learned a lot of new things.
So let me just enjoy this time.
Yeah.
And I did, okay, guys. I really did enjoy. I ate so much. By the time when I got pregnant, I was working in an environment where my coworkers were amazing. And they still are amazing people. I love them a lot. They are part of my family. And most of the clients, they were very lovely clients. And the way that they show how much care they had at me was giving me food. You know what I mean? Most of them were old people, I would say, not old, but around 67, 80, around this. I was working in a pharmacy by the time. So they were very warm people. And they were always bringing something for me to eat. No, because you need to eat. Like when I say old, I'm talking about
old school mindset.
You are eating for two. You need to eat this because you're not going to produce milk. Eat that and all. And I was just like so excited and anxious. And I was observing all of this.
And just a quick observation about the eating for two. You need to have nutrition for two, not eating for two. That means your vitamins and minerals requirements, essential oils, even protein, everything is going to get higher because you're creating a life. So you need to boost all of this. That's why you take the prenatal vitamins, which are different than the ones that you should be taking when you're not pregnant. So that is something that you have to boost. Vitamins, minerals, essential oils, protein, and everything. Not excess of empty calories. So, and that what happens is that many women misunderstand that the concept, and I have to eat a lot, and it's a lot of snack, a lot of empty calories, a lot of fast food, They are providing you a lot of calories, but not enough nutrition for your kids. So even though you're gaining a lot of weight, you're providing a lot of calories to your body, you might still be facing some need for something that, something that you're not having the correct intake.
So, and also what happened was the fact that, let's just recap this. By the time of our moms, okay, the social media wasn't something so controlling. Wasn't something like, you need to follow this person to know about this kind of thing. By the time my mom got pregnant, she only needed to care about the opinion maybe of her husband, her mom, some aunts, some friends, something like that. But now,
unconsciously, many moms, they compare themselves with social media influencers.
Oh yeah.
So if that woman has 6 packs and she's still doing deadlift and overhead press, while pregnant, almost 8-month pregnancy, and doing deadlift, I should be at least half of that, which is not true.
That's impossible,
yeah,
especially if you don't have a background.
Yeah, they don't represent most people. Okay, just like my father telling me, did you see that fighter there? She had a baby, and a few months after she was already in shape in fighting again. And I said, Dad, that woman doesn't represent most moms. She could do it, but that doesn't mean that most moms will do the same thing. For real people, for real moms, it's very hard to exercise, even before pregnancy. If you're a mom, you have your job, you're working, you have your house, you have to take care of your marriage and everything, Plus, you have a baby, which makes everything a lot harder. On top of that, you have to do a lot of exercise diet. So it's not possible if you don't have the background. But if the person is already in that world, a fitness influencer, that is a priority for the person. So that everything is gonna move around the baby. Actually, unconsciously for that person, fitness is even more important than the baby, because that's their job. To be real, that's their job. Yeah, their job is being in shape and inspire people and all. So that's why fitness is always there, regardless, with baby or not baby, so that's why. But not for real moms.
No, and these also took...
For regular moms.
For regular moms. And also, the social media part had a huge presence in my life during pregnancy, in a bad way, because I saw those moms, beautiful, super fitness, with, like he said, 6-pack and the belly not showing yet. And I said, that's it. I'm not going to be able. I am not. And then we are going to the gym. I was seeing tons of women look at me like, what the hell is going on? What is that cow over there?
I think,
and it was such a pressure.
Some of them saw you a few months before. And you saw, I guess some of them saw your fast weight gain. Probably. Yes. That was
Definitely.
One of the factors.
Even the front desk girl, I knew, like a woman, we have the sixth sense, we can see over what other woman is thinking about us, just for the way that, she's looking at us. And most of the girls at the time that I was going to the gym, they saw how big I was in less than 4 months, because everything happened most in the first and second trimester.
Yeah. So I made a meal plan. Like I said, she started following and gaining too much weight, and I wasn't understanding what was going on, because I said, no, this is not supposed to happen with this number of calories here. She was gaining probably up to
2 to 3 pounds
a week, which is too much. Then I stepped away. And I said, okay, let's do our best and all. And yeah.
And then we start going to the gym, doing some other things that I could, there are so many exercises that I couldn't do anymore. So Sandro had to come out with another idea. Okay, let's do some static holds.
Yeah,
right?
What happened with the doctor consultation?
Oh, yes. I went to the first, when I got in the 7th month, I went to the consultation. And my OBGYN said, look, you are 72 pounds heavier than the first time you saw me. So there are certain things that we need to control. First thing obviously was the nutrition.
And they took away the exercise. Why
And she
was
said,
that?
yeah, she told me, look, you're getting too heavy. I had a little bit of high blood pressure. And she says depend on what kind of training I was doing, like weightlifting, there were some things that I could not do it anymore because this will make me like raise a little bit more my pressure.
Yeah, that when you say I go to the gym, I lift weights, is the first thing they will say for you to stop.
Yeah.
If you have any kind of issue during pregnancy. But since I know that this is not a conventional way to exercise, they say no, we could still do something. Okay, doctor doesn't need to know about that. And then we use a protocol called static holds, which is one of the safest way to exercise. You don't move, you don't do movement, so there is no risk of bouncing the weight and being in an odd position. So you basically, let's say you're doing a shoulder raises, you lift the weight, you hold the weight until you can't do anymore. Since you're doing one set to failure, you don't need to do multiple sets. So we would go to the gym to do a full body workout, one exercise for every muscle group, only one set, or at least for the major muscle groups, that will be a 20-minute workout, 20-minute workout. And that was enough to keep her in shape, because I was aware that we can't do anything about it.
In shape of a pregnant woman.
No.
This is what he's talking about.
Yeah. No, in shape, I refer to healthy.
Yeah.
Healthy enough for you to face the toughest moment of your life, which is having the baby, right? Mm-hmm. But I was aware that we couldn't do anything about it. If you have to lose weight or something, that will have to be after pregnancy. So what should we do now is to keep you as healthy as possible, doing some exercise. So the one of the safest way is static holds. So you can do that, okay? If you have any restriction with exercise, you are pregnant or you're considering having pregnancy, so you have something that you can do so to avoid quitting exercise, okay? You can just hold the weights until you can't do anymore for the different shoulder, biceps, triceps, legs exercises, okay? This is a safe way to exercise. That's what we did.
So what I want to tell you in this episode specifically is I am the most indolent, procrastinator, and selfless when it comes to any fitness and giving up of foods that I like to eat. If I reach this amazing result, I can guarantee that you can do so. So right now, maybe most of the moms are struggling with a flexible diet. Stay in a meal plan where they can be free of eating certain things, where they don't need to drink shakes, eating every 3 hours, restrict their calories in a certain manner, do that, stay 17, 18 hours without eating. There is a strategy, a right strategy for each mom. But I guarantee to you that what we are offering over here, what we are telling you over here can be done at any time at your house. Sometimes if you have a spare time in your office, and sometimes the office, they even offer a gym. And the flexible diet is literally, you can start doing this now.
Yes. A nice tip that I could give you, because we spoke a little bit about exercise now, what you could do. So it's static holds. Static holds, you just hold the weights until you can't do anymore. Only one set per exercise. That's a great exercise and it's super safe. Okay. For nutrition, you can control your calories. You could create your list of food substitution, just like we have ours. We have a list of food substitution that controls calories and macronutrient ratios, thinking about groups and portions only.
There's no calories. There's no how much.
Yeah, you control your calories, but not thinking about the calories. Yeah. Thinking about portions. Okay, I need to eat from group 1 and from group 2, one portion of each, and that's it. So you could do the same thing. Let's say you like to eat pasta, potato, banana, and apple, just to give examples. So go to any website that you can get the calorie value of the food. And let's say I want to know how much potato is 150 calories, how much banana is 150 calories, how much apple and rice. Then you create a list. If you go to any calorie calculator online, you can find that you put your weight, your height, your age and all. And okay, I need 1800 calories. I need to control my portion. So if you make that list with those portions, okay, you know that if you have X number of portions, this is X amount of calories. So it's an easy way to control calories. That's my tip for today about nutrition. Okay, we're going to talk about that extensively. Okay, because this is the core for nutrition strategy. Control calories and macronutrients, which are the two most important factors in nutrition, the ones that produce result, but only controlling food groups and portions. All right, so that's my tip for nutrition today.
So just to end up with this episode, what you need to put in mind, Mom, is that your kids, they are an addiction to your family. Okay, you were here first than them. You need to take care of yourself. You need to remind yourself that they need you for a very long time. So take this step right now. Start little. Do it a little bit every time. If you can do only 10 squats today, do it at home, but start doing it. Okay,
if you can do it only once a week, it's better than 0 times a week.
Exactly. Just commit with something, not for them, but for you. Okay, you can do this. You can do this. You are strong enough to push out a baby, to deliver for C-section and get healed for a C-section. You are strong enough to do 1 set of squat once a week.
So thanks for listening to us. And please follow our social medias. You will find a lot of things to complement what we're seeing here, because we're talking about tips for nutrition, static holds and super slow movements and this and that. And you say, how does that look like? So you will see that in social media. We post videos of Nanda's workouts and explaining, and then all that is going to complement what you're listening here with us today. Okay, so thanks for listening to us. Follow us social media. You can find this podcast in the podcast platform, but also in YouTube. If you want to see us talking here, you can find the video on our YouTube channel.
And this episode was especially dedicated to my boss, who said that I wouldn't lose all the weight that I gained. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.